Another good day. We were in shorts and shoulder pads today, and not any tackling to the ground, but our guys got a lot of good work in, a lot of good work, and started introducing the Maryland very preliminary game plan. We had about 20 minutes of scout work, and then finished off with a segment with our offense versus our defense. So excited about where our guys are headed. We're taking tomorrow off, and then Wednesday we will start practicing in the afternoon to get their routine of practicing in the afternoon for next week when classes start and we have to get in that routine. So they've got over 50 hours until they're going to be on this field again. So it'll be a good couple days of recovery, getting our bodies really, really fresh, and then really starting to attack the game plan for the first game. Questions?
You mentioned that you're starting to put the scout team in, even with all the stuff happening off the field. How do you reinforce that? And this is what they're still going to look like on the field, even with all the noise going on.
We hadn't talked about it. I mean, it's they're going to put a team on the field, and that team they put on the field, a lot of those guys were in Austin, Texas last year when they beat us. So I don't think there's any need for a kick in the butt or any kind of added motivation, because we know what kind of program they are and what kind of players they have.
Coach, did you go ahead and inform the quarterbacks that who was going to be the starter?
Sam took the bulk of the reps with the ones today. Shane took most of the reps with the twos, and so I think barring any sort of catastrophe between now and the Maryland game, that's the way it'll be. And we'll see as the next 12 days progress if that merits a change, but as of now, that's what we're planning on.
Tom, when you're compiling your scout team with the new redshirt rules, does that impact at all how you put those?
It does a lot, yeah. So you want to get those guys that you think are going to redshirt. You want to get them reps in a game if you can. Obviously, we've kind of taken the stance that unless you desperately need them, we're going to try to save those games until the end of the year when you get banged up and some positions start to get really thin. So there's a lot of rotating going on with the scout teams in terms of you'll have a kid maybe play 2 periods of the scout team, then go over 2 periods with the defense, and so on and so forth, because if you're going to throw them in the game, they better know what they're doing too. And so but I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue here early in the season. I think later in the season as we start to thin out at some positions, but it's something we've definitely given some thought to.
I know you said you were hoping to sort of get the running back pecking order sort of sorted out a little bit after the scrimmage. Do you think you have that lined up, or is it still a work in progress?
Yeah, we're not going to play just one running back the entire game. That's not good business. But I think there's a definitive, there's Danny, Trey Watson, and Keontae Ingram, and then right behind them, kind of Kyle Porter and Tennille Carter, and then behind them, Kirk Johnson and Tristan Houston. So I don't know if that's a pecking order or not, but I think in terms of amount of reps that guys get in practice, that'll, the percentages will reflect that.
I'll take quarterbacks for a second. What did Sam do that was so impressive to you in the last couple of weeks to kind of earn that confidence from him?
Well, he's throwing the ball a lot better. He's sitting in the pocket much more comfortably. And let's make no mistake, Shane Buechele had a great camp. Didn't do really anything wrong. Just feel like, there's a lot of years of coaching experience on our staff, and Sam didn't do anything neither of them did anything to justify saying that you can't win with that guy. So it was just a matter of who do we feel gives you the best chance to win in the first game, and we'll see if we're right.
What was the Shane's reaction though to the conversation?
At some point, you'd probably ask him. I don't want to speak for him, but He was disappointed, and but he was mature about it, and said, I'll be ready.
Tom, CBS Sports released a poll over the weekend where they polled anonymous coaches around the country and overrated and underrated lists, and they had you on the list as one of the overrated ones. I'm interested to see, like, for you personally, deep down, does that kind of give you an edge a little bit or tick you off just a little bit at all?
No.
Tom, what did you like about the offense in the scrimmage, and what do you feel like still needs work?
We scored touchdowns against our one defense, which is they were very few and far between last year. We still gave up some negative yardage plays, which is certainly difficult when you're going against our style of defense. That's going to happen, but probably a little bit too much. And then, I think probably the biggest reason that the offense won the scrimmage was they had 0 turnovers and 1 offensive penalty in 100 and something plays. So you got a chance when you don't beat yourself.
A couple days ago, we got to see the players' reactions when you told them they were going to get to spend some time with their family. What went behind that decision, and what was it like to see their reaction?
I can't believe we kept the dang thing a secret for that long. That was a credit to the parents, a credit to our support staff that helped organize that thing. And but I think the thing was that the camp is a grind. I mean, it was 2.5 weeks of Groundhog Day, and felt that these guys had earned the right, one, for the afternoon off, but two, if you're going to give them the afternoon off, why not surprise them with their family?
Which of your tentative 2D so far, can I ask you about a couple of positions?
Sure.
Your left tackle spot, like who do you have currently at 1 and 2 there?
Yeah, if we started the game right now, Calvin Anderson would start at left tackle with Okafor behind him. Right tackle, still a bit of a battle between Derek Kerstetter and Sam Cosme. Center is certainly solidified. Left guard and right guard are certainly solidified. But if need be on the inside, that's when kind of the shell game works around. If Derek Kerstetter is getting some reps at guard, Denzel Okafor is getting some reps at guard, and Derek Kerstetter is getting some reps at center, and Elijah Rodriguez is getting some reps at center.
Running back, how's that affecting?
Like I said, I don't think there's really a pecking order. There's kind of groups.
Last one is the quarterback and your safety. Quarterback opposite Chris Boyd and safety opposite Grant.
Yeah, if we had to play tomorrow, a healthy Devontae Davis would be that corner. He's been out for a week with a tweaked hamstring, but should be back full go, ready to go on Wednesday. Kobe Boyce was getting those reps when he was out, and then Anthony Cook would be the other guy in that mix. And then, safety opposite Brandon would be Caden Stearns right now, backed up by B.J. Foster.
Hey, Tom, do you remember, well, I know you remember, when Charlie Thompson professionally ran that wishbone at OU? You remember him, and do you see a little bit of that in Casey, even though he's a younger guy?
I see the it factor, for sure. I see, he's got a confidence about him. Obviously, his dad was just so proficient in that offense and lethal, because of his ability, his decision-making ability, his explosiveness as an athlete, and then he could throw the ball too. And so, yeah, do I see a little bit in that in Casey? Certainly, but what we're asking him to do is a lot different too than the wishbone.
I missed the first part of this, but on the quarterbacks, is it when you get to Maryland, is it Sam all the way? You don't envision a rotation?
It wouldn't be a rotation. I think there is a scenario that if things aren't going well, we could throw Shane in there for a spark, but we're certainly not going to guarantee that. We're not going to just say, hey, it's the third series, you went down and scored 2 touchdowns. Hey, but it's this guy's turn. Right. If we're moving the ball and playing well, then we'll make a decision on game day when and if we need to do that.
How far behind is Rising?
Not far. The talent is certainly there. It's just the speed of the game and experience. And we had a conversation with him too, and told him that the future was bright. He was very happy. He was very, agreed with his position and is excited to continue to learn and let the game slow down for him.
Ideally, would you like to redshirt him if you could, or?
Well, I think he falls into that same 4-game deal, that you're going to. Yes, the answer is yes. Ideally, you're not going to want to play that guy unless you have to. And have to would be injury circumstances or just complete drop-off of performance. But ideally, you'd like to save that year for him.
Got time for 2 last ones? Going back to the scrimmage a little bit, obviously the offense came out on top. Is that more of a product of, maybe an off day for the defense not causing turnovers, or is, that the offense really making strides that you hadn't seen in the previous week?
I think it's definitely more the offense making strides. Our defense, really good defense. And we only played our ones, I think 22 snaps, something like that too. So it's maybe a little bit skewed. But the offense as well. We only played the key guys minimal amounts of reps as well. But very, very happy with the way the defense played and the progress that they've made.
How's your kicker situation?
I'll take 2.
What's your kicker situation looking? Is it Roland, Dicker, and Nagger? Who's separating?
Nobody's really separate. I think we're probably going to give it through this week to really finalize that.
Now that you've moved into Maryland, Brad, do you watch last year's LSU games or Pitt games? How do you study this offense?
More last year's LSU game, certainly. But you've also got to look at, their personnel too, and kind of make educated guesses a little bit about, what are they going to do with this personnel. You try to watch the TV copy of the spring game and see if you can glean anything, from that in terms of a massive departure from what they were at LSU. But again, I think it's more of a matter of, okay, what does this guy believe in? And then how can we make some educated assumptions about what he's going to do with the personnel that he has and kind of fit it into his belief system. Thanks.